because I haven't been able to get out. Oh, that looks like a bite. I don't believe it. It's probably a small fish again. Oh no, it's not a small fish, is it? Crikey. It don't feel small. It feels quite big. Oh, I don't believe it. Just cast under that tree. It feels quite chunky. Hi, well, those of you who caught my little video on Friday will know that I wanted to come out last Friday but didn't feel too good, which was a bit unfortunate because it was a perfect day. It's probably the mildest day we've had this year and the rivers had fined down nicely, but it wasn't to be. So it's now Tuesday and I had planned to come out today, and I'm out today, but unfortunately the heavens opened over the weekend and all the rivers are up again. Now I was going to go back to the trout stream because it offers much more sort of variety in terms of bends and little eddies and slacks and things, which in high water is really what you're looking for. But unfortunately, looking at the river levels on the web this morning, the trout stream's suffering more than most for some reason, or Houghton's suffering more than most. It's well up, nearly 2 feet up, and according to the data on the website, it's rising, and I don't like fishing rising water. So I then considered the chub stream down at St Ives, because St Ives was showing a fairly stable level, but then checking just before I came out, that was showing rising as well. So all a bit of a disaster really. Anyway, in the end I've come to Offord Cluny because Offord Cluny, the waters here, the Offord Cluny club, there's quite a variety of waters, and if one don't work you can try somewhere else. You know, you've got Main River, you've got the mill stream where I'm sitting now, and you've got sort of back channels, and yeah, so I thought I'd come here. Now the mill stream is my favourite and my preference because I'd actually tackled up for chub, and I've bought baits for chub. Ironically, the lock cutting where I fished last year in high water, well, I tried to fish but there was someone already there, or people already there. That's empty today, there's no one there, but I didn't really bring the tackle for float fishing in the lock cutting, so I've got my chub gear. So I came to the mill stream. It is up a bit, but it's not pushing through too hard. It's very coloured. And I'm actually sitting down by the bridge at the beginning of the stretch at the moment, and I've noticed there's a couple of slacks down by the bridge, very small slacks. So I'm going to start here, drop in those slacks just to see if there's any chub just nestling in there, sheltering from the main flow. So yeah, that was quite a long intro, weren't it? Sorry about that. But anyway, oh, by the way, I've got a golf hat on because basically my fishing hat's still in my house. Left it behind, but fortunately I had this hat in the boot of the car, so a bit of a variety. Anyway, yeah, so let's get going and see what the mill stream has to offer. If it doesn't work here, I can try some places on the main river, perhaps where there's a bit of slack water. So I've got options. So we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'm up by the bridge, as you can no doubt see. Now I had all the car packed and all the bait prepared for chubbing, so I've got bread flake and cheese paste with me. Now the middle's going down quite fast. I don't know if you can see that stick flying through, but there's some slack down here in between the bank and some reed banks. I'm going to dip in there. I don't know, if I turn around a bit you can probably see it better, just where I'm pointing the rod there. Or if not, on the outside of those reeds, but even that looks fast. And there's some slack over the other side, but I'd have to put the rod up high to keep the bait over there. In fact, I don't think it's that slack over there, to be honest. So I'm going to try down here first. I'm just going to move this rod wrist. I stuck it there earlier on, but it's not in the right place. Not much down there in the way of soil. It's all reed roots, I think. Right, Let's see how that looks. Yeah. I don't know if this will work. Obviously it's all in these conditions, you just don't know what to do really. As I say, the water's very coloured. I'm not sure if it's rising or dropping. According to the website with the river levels, the water here was steady, but I don't know. No, that's no good. It's in the reeds, but that's dropped down. So let's just see if there's something skulking down in that slack. Oh no, the bread's up in the air, so something's gone wrong there. Oh, let's try again. Go a bit further down actually. Yeah. It's just trying to think where the fish might be resting in these conditions. You never know. There's some slack just upstream of me here. I just move up. If this doesn't work, I'll move upstream a bit and get on the edge of this crease that's coming down to the right of me. But I saw that sort of slack water between the old reed begs and the bank, and I thought there was just a possibility. I've lost a couple of fish in this swim when I've been fishing from a higher up, and they've always got themselves snagged in something, and I've ended up getting snagged in things, and I think this is what I got snagged in here. It's now plainly visible. No, there's nothing down there. We'll try the other side of the reeds while we're here, and if not, we'll move upstream a bit and see what happens. No, I think it's all too turbulent down there. I think we'll move upstream and cast down into this slack of water that's just to the right of me. Yeah, well, it was worth just dropping a bit of bread in to see if anything was there. But looking at how those reeds are being buffeted around, I just don't think it's a very hospitable area for the chub. Even though in the summer this is one of their favoured spots. I think we'll move upstream before I lose something here. Right, I've just moved upstream a bit. The fast water's on the far bank, and there's like a crease down the middle, and this is almost like a back eddy. There's a slight bit of back movement, so I can get on the edge of that crease down there, and see what we get. It's all about sort of reading the water and the fish today. Where will they be? But if this is rising, which it may well be, as it's rising everywhere else, even though the website didn't say it was. I've never done very well in rising water. Let's get on the edge of the crease and see what happens. It's sort of boiling a bit down there as well, which is never good. Let's just let this swing round. it's gone slack, which would tend to indicate it came back a bit. I'll stay here for a while because it's a bit of slackish water, and there's not going to be much of it around today, I don't think. And that could have been a bite. There was a little tap on the rod top there. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of dace in here, so it need not be a chub. But at least it was something. It's a bit better pull then, but there's nothing there. But anyway, there's action down there, that's all that matters really. I was watching a video yesterday on YouTube, Fishing for Memories with Mark Erdwin. He was fishing a really snaggy looking, I'll say that again, river, and he caught a couple of really nice chub. But on one of them, although you had a pretty good view of the rod top on the video, he actually said, "I don't suppose you saw that," and I didn't see it move, to be honest. It must have been so slight. But anyway, he said he had seen the line move before the rod top moved. But it was a big chub. I don't think he gave the weight, but it was probably over 4 pound, perhaps pushing 5. And it gave just such a sensitive bite. Well, all that optimism of getting a bite on the first cast has sort of fizzled out, hasn't it, really? This is interesting because that sort of little bit down there is usually so shallow you can almost touch the bottom. So there's whether it's worth fishing that close to the bank and hoping to get something. But you can see the rest of it's going down. The only really options along here are either trying to hold it in a slack on the far bank. There are a few created by branches and rafts and things, or trickle it down the near bank and hope that there's an undercut or something. But it's not, you can see it is a bit slacker near the bank. You have to be right near the bank, which I can try. If nothing materialises up by the bridge there, I can try some of these spots. But even in summer it's a fairly rapid stream. You see there's not really anything here. It's a sort of bit of slack over there, but whether you could ever hold a bait there is debatable, really. That's good, isn't it? A bait, debatable. Sort of half a pun, really, isn't it? You see there's a slack over there, but I think the only way to fish that would be, and it's not much of a slack, to be honest. One is trying to get the bait in there to start with, and without losing it in the tree, and the other is perhaps holding the rod and just feeling the line as it trundles round. But a bit optimistic, I think. Yeah, it was always going to be a challenge today, to be honest. I knew that. See, now there's a wheelie bin in the middle of the stream, which obviously came down with the stream, which gives you an idea what it was like at one point. See, if it weren't for these damn trees, there's all that slack water over there, but you can't cast. It's just... I was looking at some of my old videos I fished here back only a couple of years ago, really. These trees were nowhere near as sort of invasive as they are now. I was quite surprised how open the stream looked. Yeah. Worth a try down the side here. It's a little bit easier. We'll give them a go. We'll give a couple of places a go. But I'm going to stay where I am for a while, because that is definitely a slack spot, and I definitely had a bite there. So we'll stick that out a bit longer before we take on some of these more challenging spots. Cup of coffee and a Kit Kat. I'm not going to put the bait in, because sod's law will say if I start drinking a cup of coffee and it's in there, I'll miss a bite and I'll never forgive myself. Yeah, I think I'll stick it out here for a while. This is probably the sedatest part of the stream. I shouldn't think the main river is going to be any easier, to be honest. Fish or no fish, it's so nice to be out in what are sort of approaching spring-like conditions today. It is really pleasant. There's a wind, but it's not like an icy wind, it's a mild wind. And the sun's got some warmth in it. It's all very pleasurable after what we've had for the last month or so. All we need now is a fish or two. Oh, let's put it out there into that faster water and let it swing around. The thing is that in the summer, at least, that spot down by the bridge, there's literally a shoal of chub down there in the summer. They're almost, oh, looks like something's having a go here. They're almost unreachable because of all the overgrown banks and what have you. But we know it's a popular spot for the chub. So assuming that they like it there, and they need to move just a bit to get out of the faster water, this would seem perhaps a good spot to be. But I haven't had a tap on cheese paste, so I think that sort of confirms my feelings that those taps that I was getting earlier weren't necessarily big chub, just being cautious. I think they were small fish, just nibbling away at the bread. And it was sort of evidenced by the fact it always came back in a lot smaller than it went out. So I think I'm going to have a move. I'm not overly hopeful of some of the other spots along here. There are not many to try, but we'll go and give it a go. And you never know. You never know. But there's not been a movement on the rod top on the cheese paste. So as I say, I think I'll give it a move. That. Couple of cygnets. Not got all his white feathers yet. Let's try the same trick here, see if I can get into that slack of water over the other bank and just hold the rod and see if anything grabs it. Oh, that was pretty good, wasn't it? Caught in a snag or something. I don't know if the bread stayed on, that's the only thing. There's a lot of snags over there, I can feel them, but I'm not sure if the bread's still on, that's the trouble. There's just too much water coming now. Just put it down the inside of the bank here. You never know. Where do these fish go in these conditions? No, I think I'm flogging a dead horse here. What I think I might do is make my way back to the car. It's only 12:30, and perhaps go over to what they call the car park pool and try some ledgering in there. I'm over in the car park pool, as they call it, which is probably the slackest part of the complex, really. As you can see, there is a small weir over there, but it's not carrying too much water, and there's a bit of flow, but not a lot. I was going to fish in the pool, but then when I got here, I saw that the main river was coming down at a pace, and I was wondering if I could get a bait. You can see the residue of reed beds in the middle there, and they've got this damn tree as always, but I was wondering if I could get a bait on the edge of that fast flow, sort of erring towards this side of the pool, and perhaps any fish would be perhaps there catching anything that comes down with the flow. But sort of classic theory really, but will it work in practice? I don't know if I've got enough weight on either to get out there, but I haven't tried yet, but I'll give it a go and we'll see what happens, shall we? It's sort of desperation at the moment, really. The mill stream was just not yielding anything. I don't think the trout stream would have been any different, to be honest, and I'm sure the chub stream down at St Ives wouldn't have been any easier either. So we'll see if we can do anything here. The advantage is I'm sort of right next to the car park now, so when I pack up I haven't got far to go. I decided not to walk over to what's called the new cut. I have fished at the end of it in the past when the main river was up and I didn't get anything. But I think the best thing for me is to cast from the top of the bank to try and avoid this tree. Not bad. There was a bit of binding on the reel there, so that didn't help. The sort of line got a bit tangled in the mill stream, but that's gone now. So let's see if we get anything out there, shall we? As I say, the theory is that the fish will prefer this quieter area, but perhaps get nearer the main flow to catch anything that's coming down. That's the theory. There's a lot of theories in fishing. We have a swan come to see us. Don't know if you can see him because the camera's facing the wrong way. You'll probably catch him in my other camera, which I've got running up there. And he's looking on the bottom now to see if I've thrown any bait in. I'm not fishing here, I'm fishing right out in the middle. You're not going to find anything here. You're going to catch my line if you're not careful. Oh no, you just missed it. I'm not feeding you because I'll never get rid of you. Incredibly bold birds, swans, aren't they? They don't care a damn about getting close to humans. Unlike ducks and things. Well, I've just cast, I don't know if you can see it really, under the tree to the left of me. Just felt I needed to cast a feature or something. I'm not sure that make any difference, to be honest, but seems like it's snagged up actually. All right. And I think today is not going to be a fishy day. I think we're looking for a blank today. Or we're looking to have a blank today. think all things being equal, I probably wouldn't have come out today if I'd been able to get out more regularly recently. All the indications were that it wouldn't be very easy today. But because I haven't been able to get out, oh, that looks like a bite. I don't believe it. It's probably a small fish again. Oh no, it's not a small fish, is it? Crikey. It doesn't feel small. It feels quite big. Oh, I don't believe it. Just cast under that tree. It feels quite chunky. Oh, it's a bream, isn't it? Well, if there's one bream, there's probably more. It's weighty, but not... That saved me a blanket, isn't it? Oh. Blimey, he's having a go, isn't he? That's a weighty bream. Ah. Oh. Well, thank you, Mr. Bream. You saved me a blank. I've got the line caught up down there now. Oh, Jesus. I should have laughed at it. I think I can get this hook out. It's just in the lip. Well, it's avoided the blank in the most unexpected manner. It's not really the rod for bream fishing. The tip on this isn't very sensitive at all. I'd be much better off with a different rod, but I am where I am. It felt really heavy. Well, obviously 4-pound fish is a heavy fish, but it obviously wasn't sort of powerful in the conventional sense of running or anything, but it was really dogged. Strange, isn't it? On my last outing I was after chub and ended up getting a pike, and today I'm after chub, or I was after chub. We've got a bream. Amazing. Right, this is the last cast, folks. Let's see what happens. There's a little bird down there. I think it's a wren. I'm sure it's a wren. Oh, how lovely. You can hardly see it, it's in all that sort of underneath. It's bouncing up the branch now. I don't know if you can see it on this camera. Yeah, a little tail sticking up. Yeah, it's a wren. A little diddy wren. Oh, he's sitting on the top now, you can't miss him. Ah. I haven't got any maggots. I don't know if you eat maggots, wrens. I don't know what they eat, to be honest. I would have thought they're more likely to eat insects than seed. They're so small. Well, that was a nice visitor. We used to have a wren in our garden, but it nested in there one year. But Haven't seen it for years, or haven't seen a wren for years. Yeah, I was really hoping there that we may catch 2 or 3 bream, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, does it? But as I say, I'm more than pleased that I caught one, because I was running out of ideas today. Oh, that's a bite. It's definitely a bite. Oh, I missed it that time. Oh, disasters. Right, now I know where I went then. Let's try again. It's probably another bream. I've not got the right quiver tip really for bream. It's just ridiculous. What I should have done is put a bobbin on really. But that was definitely a bite. The thing is that this setup here isn't really any good for bream fishing. It's too heavy. I was probably lucky hooking the first one, and rather than being unlucky not hooking the second one. But anyway, I said I was going to pack up at 2:30. It's 5 minutes to go, and I haven't had another bite after that missed one, so I'll probably be calling it a day in a minute or two. Besides anything else, it's been good to get out. It's been, as I say, nearly 3 weeks since I've been out, and for one reason or another. And hope to get at least one more trip in before the end of the season, if not a couple. And just hope the streams fine down a bit so I can have another bash at the chub. I mean, so I can catch bream in a lake. But I can't. Well, I can catch chub in a lake. I know they've got chub in lakes now, but it's not quite the same as stalking them on a stream, is it? It's sort of in a lake, they sort of come along among everything else, but in a stream you fish for them intentionally. Yeah, so packing up in a minute, but it hasn't been too bad today really, all in all. Tried a lot of things. Not much worked, but at least we got a fish. I knew it was going to be challenging today, but I had to try. I just needed to get out. As expected, the mill stream was difficult. It was going through at a fair old pace, very, very coloured. I tried as many tricks as I could, looking for the sort of small number of slacks that there are. But other than a few knocks in the first swim, which I think almost certainly were small fish, there was nothing doing really. So I came over to the car park and fished what they call the car park pool. Tried a few tricks there as well. Tried casting over to the edge of the main stream. There's another train going by. Yeah, I thought that was a good ploy, casting over to the edge of the main river where the crease was between that and the car park pool, which is quite slack, but that didn't work. In fact, I kept getting snagged up. Tried coming a bit closer in, and that didn't work, but I struck lucky. I sort of cast under a tree to quite near the bank really, and I had that bream, 4 pound 6 ounce bream, which was really a bonus, because at that point I thought I wasn't going to get anything today. So thank you for that bream. I missed another bite, which was almost certainly a bream, but the tackle I had, it was a heavy rod. It was all tackled up to go chubbing in a weedy stream, not to fish for bream in open water. So it's not surprising really that I missed the second bite. As I said earlier during the filming, that if I'd known how it was going to pan out, I would have come equipped with different gear. Also, I would have perhaps come equipped to float fish the lock cutting, because there was no one there today. That would have been a good place to fish, but that's how it panned out. So as usual, thanks for watching. I hope to get out at least once more before the end of the season, possibly a couple of times more. It depends how things pan out with the weather, of course. But until then, as I say, thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for the comments I get. It's always great to get a few comments, and thank you to the subscribers for subscribing. So yeah, so that's about it. So I'm making my way home now. Quite a nice scenery behind, isn't it? I'm just looking as I'm recording this video. Clouds, blue sky, a bit of blue sky anyway, and water. Anyway, until next time, bye for now, and cheers.